Man, I'll tell you what
So
I'm mad
funny.
about. Bad Bunny's doing the halftime show.
That's good.
To me, though.
Bad Bunny's
No, of
good.
course. Who gives a It was very funny to me that people were upset about that.
Oh, I'm not upset about it.
Every
I'm
once in a
just
while,
not a fan.
the right gets it so wrong with what they're outraged. Everybody's outraged about everything, obviously. But when it's like, dude, don't lose on this one.
Why are
it's a
they
halftime
mad
show.
about
Who gives
Bad?
I think it's because he doesn't speak English. I'm trying to watch football.
Comedian Shane Gillis ripped MAGA for the reaction to Bad Bunny being named the Super Bowl halftime performer.
And my point was, last year's halftime show was barely intelligible. Maybe that was for China. Bing, bop, boom, bing, bang.
Oh, dude, you hate Kendrick.
No, I don't hate Kendrick.
Stop hating.
We don't have to talk Kendrick.
Didn't Shakira do the halftime show?
What?
I thought, didn't Shakira do the halftime show before?
Yeah.
What are they mad about?
I don't know.
Janet Jackson whipped her out on it.
Yeah, that rocked. Though.
Yeah, it was great. Man, that was a pivotal moment in like American history, like for TV and stuff.
That was considered, like now it'd be nothing.
Yeah.
I could have sworn she had a sticky over her.
She had like a it was, I think it was pierced, and she had this big thing like almost like a vote for me pin covering her whole nipple. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
yeah,
it wasn't
pasty.
it wasn't that crazy.
It wasn't that crazy. Also, why'd they pretend it was like when they were like it was a wardrobe malfunction?
Along with other notable halftime performances.
Normally, we would not mention this, but the NFL just announced that an artist by the name of Bad Bunny will star in the Super Bowl halftime show in California in February. Not someone who might make at least a little bit more sense. No, instead, the NFL chose a guy from Puerto Rico, which is not a problem, but he sings all of his songs in Spanish, which is a problem. Not only that, just 2 weeks ago, Bad Bunny said that he never wants to perform in the United States again because he doesn't want his fans to get deported by ICE. This is a Trump hater and somebody who does not support ICE, meaning to Mr. Bunny, this month, again, we're still in September, he was never going to perform in the United States again. And then the NFL suddenly calls Mr. Bunny, and all those deep-seated, long-held reservations about ICE and Donald Trump suddenly just go away. He put out a promotional video today to let people know that he's going to be starring in the halftime show. There's Mr. Bunny right there, Mr. Bunny. And a lot of people were really upset about this video today, and they were upset because the whole thing was in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I don't want Spanish. I was always irritated when I was little and people would say, you know, if you speak multiple languages, it just helps you. If you get kids started early and they become linguists, that really helps them. Well, I mean, if you plan on living in the United States, just speak English.
Pro-bigoted outlets like these certainly did not help the cause.
The last thing I want to talk to you about is because I'm about ready to do my commentary on it. But do you think Bad Bunny is a good choice for the Super Bowl?
I'm not that knowledgeable about him, but it seems fine, and I don't know why it's a big deal. Seems like a great American artist, so sure.
He's not an American artist, but
he's Puerto Rican. That's part of America, dear.
She threw that deer in there. That's how you know, like when somebody says some stupid shit, like women throw that deer in there, like, come on now.
Yeah, that's a real dart.
Nor did conservative pundit Tommy Lauren playing geography Barbie on Outkick.
Hey, did you guys hear Bad Bunny is doing the NFL halftime show? Can't wait to see ICE arrest him on stage live at the halftime show. It's going to be the best halftime show ever. They're going to show Bad Bunny who the real Bad Bunny is. To all you ignorant motherfuckers that keep commenting on that Bad Bunny video I did, he's a U.S. citizen, he's born in Puerto Rico. You guys are the same stupid that say Donald Trump is a dictator. Now, do you think Donald Trump gives a where Bad Bunny says he was born? No, he doesn't, okay? No, he does not give a where Bad Bunny says he was born. He's sending the goddamn military into U.S. cities.
So Metallica, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Jelly Roll, any country star, but you settle on Bad Bunny. Okay. I can't believe that the NFL thinks it's a good idea to have Bad Bunny perform at the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, who does the NFL think their fan base is? None of us football fans, or none of us men, want to listen to Bad Bunny perform at the Super Bowl halftime show.
That has announced that Bad Bunny, whoever that is going to be the artist that's performing at this year's Super Bowl halftime show. There's a lot of people upset about this because apparently Bad Bunny is a gay, transgender artist from Puerto Rico. I'm not exactly sure what they identify as or exactly who their fan base is. Definitely have not, I can honestly say with 100%, look in my eyes, I don't know not one single song from this artist.
MAGA, of course, did MAGA.
So they named Bad Bunny the Super Bowl halftime show, and in the most predictable outrage ever, I'm mad. I'm a Category 5 Alex Jones. You know, year after year, NFL, you just keep messing up with these shows. And you should know better. You know I'm fragile. You should know that if the wind blows the wrong way, I'll boycott the breeze. It's in my nature. I was going to boycott this season anyway. I've been boycotting every year for the last 10 years, and I'm not quiet about it. I made it known. And then what do you stop doing? You stop catering to somebody like me, a guy who wasn't going to watch anyway. This is ridiculous. Nothing's for me anymore. Straight white English speaking American man, and if 15 minutes out of the year isn't directly for me, I'm off. I'm not happy unless I'm mad. And did you know Bad Bunny's not even from the United States? I bet not. That means something, being from the United States. Just ask The Weeknd, Rihanna, and Coldplay. You know, at least when you brought in a foreigner, Shakira had the decency to have a big fat for everybody to look at. You done messed up now, NFL. Here's a little preview of my review of this year's Super Bowl 4 months in advance. That halftime show, that was demonic. It was gay. It was anti-ICE. It was unpatriotic. It was too sexual. It made me think. I couldn't understand a word he was saying.
Comedian Brent Terhune had fun with it.
Do you want to know why MAGA is melting down over Bad Bunny? It's not about the Super Bowl, and it's not even about football. It's about who gets to belong, according to them. See, Bad Bunny is one of the biggest artists on the planet. He sells out stadiums. He breaks records. He wins Grammys. But the minute the NFL gave the halftime stage to a Puerto Rican American who sings in Spanish, suddenly it's, I'm not watching, and learn English. They say it's not political, but come on. If this exact same performance came from a white country singer, they'd call it patriotism. And the truth is, people like this are exactly why DEI exists. See, they're the reason equal opportunity laws had to be written in the first place, because there are still far too many people who would never hire, never promote, never give the mic to someone who isn't white unless they were forced to. Or in this case, they're not going to watch the Super Bowl at all. See, they see a Latino artist at the Super Bowl and think, that's not America. But it is. And that's what scares them most. So no, they're not mad about the music. They're mad that the face of success doesn't look like the past anymore.
Shauna also weighed in and spoke eloquently on the subject.
This will be the worst Super Bowl halftime show you have ever watched in your entire life. 2025 Super Bowl halftime show will be performed none other than Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. It's Bad Bunny, it's not pronounced Bad Bunny. You want to insult a 3 Grammy Award winner by not pronouncing his name? It's nothing new from you guys, is it? After all, you had a hard time pronouncing Kamala Harris's name. So I'm not surprised that you would choose to mispronounce Benito's name. So now, MAGA can't say that Benito is not good enough for the NFL, but now they're saying he's evil. He's going to be performing some satanic acts. Of course you would come up with this. Why not? You have nothing else. You're mad at the fact that, yes, it's going to send a political message, and also, yes, he doesn't like your Lord and Savior. He goes against everything this administration stands for. And why wouldn't he? He's a Latino. See, only the coward Latinos, especially those who voted for this administration, would choose to support an administration that goes after our own community. But Benito is against all of that because he feels the pain that all Latinos are feeling right now while they're being chased like dogs and put in cages while they stake out in front of their homes at 4 o'clock in the morning and break into a home and separate children from their parents.
Ditto with the Hat Lady on TikTok. So look, y'all, I think this is pretty easy to understand, okay? They don't think Bad Bunny is American because he speaks Spanish. They don't think Bad Bunny is American because they don't know the history of Puerto Rico. They're mad because Bad Bunny is not a white country singer. They are really upset that instead of keeping a game that they are trying to grow as much as they possibly can globally by picking a global superstar, that they didn't keep it in-house in the country. It says a lot because, as we know, critical thinking is not necessarily a trait on the other side of the aisle. As I look at this, they have expanded the game to Mexico City, Berlin. Mexico City is nothing new, but Berlin. They had, the Bills in Canada for a while. So they've gone to Mexico City, Toronto, Berlin, London, Brazil, and they're going to play at the Bernabeu in Madrid. And you want the National Football League to pick Kenny Chesney? The internet is great, right? The internet is great because we're able to look up things in real time, and we're able to read an infinite amount of books and research a ton on theory and fact check, etc. But for some platforms, the algorithms, in certain cases, push forward nonsense. And the fact that we are fed this on our feeds on, I would say, 2 to 3 different platforms is intentional. And it shows that people who would largely just be writing on Facebook are having their view counts and engagement go up because they put out pure, unadulterated nonsense. These takes should not be popular. These takes should not be reaching a massive audience because they are filled with nothing burgers, and yet we continuously have to see them. Why? Answer that question for me.
I would note the administration won an identical case in the Ninth Circuit just a few months ago with respect to the federalizing of the California National Guard. Under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, the president has plenary authority.
Stephen? Stephen? Hey, Stephen, can you hear me? It seemed, Stephen, I apologize. It seems like we're having a technical issue. We'll try to fix that and get back to you after a quick break.
Nah, man, nah. He did not short circuit. Stephen Miller, the Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security Advisor in the Trump administration, flubbed a talking point and was too embarrassed to continue. Meanwhile,
point is that they are scrapping and grasping at straws because they have nothing else. Laugh at them. Stephen Miller is a clown. I've never seen that guy in real life, but he looks like he's like 4'10", and he looks like he is angry about the fact that he's 4'10", and he looks like he is so mad that he is 4'10", that he's taking that anger out at any other population possible.
New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez roasted him on her most recent Instagram Live.
You called a legal ruling legal insurrection. Are you recommending the president take action against judges whose rulings you disagree with?
No, it's simply a factually accurate statement that when a judge assumes for him or herself the powers that have been relegated or delegated by the Constitution to the president, that is a form of a legal insurrection, and we have seen.
Insurrection carries legal weight, so are you recommending?
We have seen over the last 9 months a ongoing legal insurrection in which district court judges, as a class, in many cases, have issued, which is why they've been overturned so much, have issued rulings that are flagrantly unlawful and unconstitutional, and it is an insurrection against the laws and Constitution of the United States. And we need to have district courts in this country that see themselves as being under the laws and Constitution and not being able to take for themselves powers that are reserved solely for the president.
Miller is someone who has received a ton of criticism. Plenty of his critics have compared him to Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propagandist, for the similarity in speeches and rhetoric overall.
Like, laugh at them. Laugh at them. Yes, they are dangerous. Yes, we're here to be strong for one another. We need to expose the lies. We need to never let off the gas when it comes to protecting one another, exposing the lies, documenting things. We're seeing this too, right? And so I think it's very important to be able to hold multiple things at once. And we've seen this work in other cultures. We've seen this work in other countries. Yes, the resistance to authoritarianism is very real. The risks of abuse of power are very real. But one of the most powerful cultural things that you can do to a political movement that is predicated on the puffery of insecure masculinity. That's what this is about. This isn't, people talk about toxic masculinity. More than, it's like, let's put that to the side for just 1 second. This is about insecure masculinity. And one of the best ways that you can dismantle a movement of insecure men is by making fun of them.
I mean, for the guy we're discussing here, it's almost a layup to most.
Do you have evidence that this campaign is coordinated? Are you planning charges on anyone who is actually coordinating said campaign?
Yes. So since the Joint Terrorism Task Force has gotten involved, we found that there are common funding, that there is common financing, that there are meeting points, that is
what you're
carefully
describing as
orchestrated,
actual
it is carefully
terrorism.
integrated. Yes.
And you are going to charge someone with terrorism.
Well, so I would like to.
I bet you would like to, but that doesn't mean you're going to, are you?
No. What I'm saying to you is the Congress has statutes on seditious conspiracy, on insurrection, on impeding federal law enforcement. The domestic terrorism statute in Congress obviously needs to be strengthened. For domestic terrorism in Congress, we have foreign terrorism charges.
By the way, according to Ken Klippenstein, this guy is saying doxing is a form of terrorism now. Clownish behavior.
By having secure men who aren't afraid of successful people around them, who are good dads, who have strong values, also participating in that as well. So, like, that's what I have for that. And also someone said, short kings are great. Absolutely. I'm not here. I want to absolutely make sure that I talk about that. I'm not here to make fun of anyone's anything, but the way people overcompensate over their own stories is what I'm talking about there. So thank you for the clarification. I appreciate that. Shout out to our short kings.
AOC would then comment on this very story that it seems she drove up in the media, and Fox News even covered on her social media platforms the very next day.
I want to express my love for the short king community. I don't believe in body shaming. I am talking about how big or small someone is on the inside. Like, for example, I have no idea how tall Andrew Tate is. No idea at all. But that guy looks to me like 5'3", like 5'3", 5'4". Whereas physically, men of smaller stature can come across, they are spiritually 6 foot. If you're a good dad, if you stand with women, if you're not belittling immigrants, you're like, 6'3", spiritually.
We have also covered this. I know the network has covered this as well. Stephen Miller's own family hates him. They despise him. Family members have spoken to Politico. They have given interviews within the mainstream press. Practically no one in his family likes him. And if you needed another example, here it is. Alyssa Kazmir Stephen Miller's cousin took to Facebook to disown him. Many of you know who my cousin is. Being public about it is something I've struggled with. I live with real fear about what posting something this raw might bring. I am living with the deep pain of watching someone I once loved become the face of evil. But I know that staying silent only deepens the ache. There's so much more I could say, and maybe someday I will. It's a long read. I'm wordy AF, she typed. She would continue. Last night I found myself in a stage of grief I didn't even realize I had been carrying. A grief that's been living inside me for years, quiet but constant. It comes from being so close to the root of something violent and vile in this country. I cried until I couldn't breathe. Hours of sobbing, gasping, shaking, sick to my stomach with a weight in my chest that was too heavy to fight. I was having a panic attack I couldn't escape. Maybe it was 10 years of anger and pain, finally breaking through the surface. Maybe it was the most recent ice raids, turning my rage into sorrow. Whatever it was, something in me cracked wide open and has shaken me to my core. More from Casmer. Our privilege has been wasted on cruelty and torture, targeting the very people who make our communities whole, the hardest workers, the most vulnerable, the ones who carry this country on their backs. A society is only as strong as its most vulnerable, and ours are at their weakest. This is not by accident, but by design. Your design, Stephen. I grieve what you've become, Stephen, and I grieve what I've lost because of it. I grieve your children and I will never meet. I grieve the future family you've stolen from me by choosing a path so filled with cruelty that I cannot and will not be a part of it. I will never knowingly let evil into my life, no matter whose blood it carries, including my own. The last 2 paragraphs read as follows. I try to fight your harm in every way I can, but it will never be enough. I can't undo what you've done or who you have become. I cannot match or reach your power. I feel helpless. The panic attacks haven't stopped since the grief cracked open. The tears won't stop, and the weight on my chest is constant. This isn't about politics. This is about humanity, about decency, and you have lost yours. She would conclude, you've destroyed so many lives just to feed your own obsession and ego and uphold an administration so corrupt, so vile, I can barely comprehend it. As surreal as it all feels, this is reality. As much as I try to disassociate from it, the truth remains. Being this close to such deep cruelty fills me with shame. I am gutted. My heart breaks that this is the legacy you have brought to our family. A legacy I never asked to share with you, and one I now carry like a curse. So there's a lot here, right? And I think the biggest point is this. It seems as though it is almost rinse, wash, repeat, but getting money out of politics is so incredibly important, right? It is the driving force for corruption and leads to such evil. And one thing that really hasn't been discussed, I believe ProPublica and a few other outlets printed stuff on this, but Stephen Miller holds stock in some of the companies that are carrying out his immigration policy. I mean, not only are you, as I've stated previously, some compare him to the modern day Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propagandist. Not only do you have such a dark soul, but you're financially benefiting from having a dark soul. You have stock in companies that are carrying out your deportations. And this isn't even discussed anymore. We're just talking about, at least online, the chatter has been, oh, he's so hideous. Oh, he's short. Oh, he's terrible. Yeah, those are all true. But he's also raking in countless amounts of money by being evil. I mean, I don't know why it's not, I think I do know why. I do know why it's not talked about. It's because it's just the law of the land at this point. But it's still nonetheless incredibly frustrating to witness.